One of my friends who's a Seventh-day Adventist, he keeps on saying that the Sabbath is Saturday. It's Saturday.
Okay, say all right then, it's Saturday, and we keep the true Sabbath. We keep the true Sabbath. You keep Israel Sabbath. You keep National Israel Sabbath. Okay, now guys, he's asking me a question about the Sabbath day. I want to understand that God's Sabbath is today. God's Sabbath will be tomorrow. God's Sabbath will be the day after.
Now,
Every
this
day
is reaching.
God's Sabbath day.
Hello friends, welcome to I Love Truth TV. I'm Brother Rafi, and today we are going to have a video reaction to a video entitled Why Christians Worship on Sunday if Sabbath is on Saturday. And this was uploaded by Shamonian, and it has quite a lot of views and a lot of controversy as well. So let's see what they think about whether keeping Sunday or Saturday, or is there a true Sabbath? Let's check it out.
My friend.
Yeah, just one thing.
Yes.
It just struck my head.
Okay.
So I'm debating, one of my friends who's a Seventh-day Adventist, he keeps on saying that the Sabbath is Saturday. It's Saturday.
Okay, say all right then, it's Saturday, and?
Yeah. And why do you guys keep it on Sunday?
Because as Christians who worship Jesus, who are born of the Spirit, who are spiritual Jews, we keep the true Sabbath. We keep the true Sabbath.
Okay.
You keep Israel Sabbath. You keep National Israel Sabbath. Okay, now guys, he's asking me a question about the Sabbath day.
National Israel Sabbath, the Jew Sabbath. Is there such a thing? You know, I did this search before, and I tried to find Jewish Sabbath, Israel Sabbath. You cannot find that phrase in the Bible. When the seventh day or Saturday is referred to, it's always called the Sabbath of the Lord. Now, let me prove that to you in the scriptures. In Exodus chapter 20, where the Ten Commandments was written, and it says here about the fourth commandment in Exodus 20 verse 8, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. This is the commandment. But it says here in verse 10, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord, thy God. It doesn't say the Sabbath of the Jews or National Israel Sabbath, the Sabbath of the Lord. Now let's go to another one. In Isaiah chapter 58 verse 13, it says here very clearly, if thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord, honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing your own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words. It says there, the Sabbath is my holy day, the holy of the Lord. It didn't say Israel Sabbath, or the Jewish Sabbath, or the National Israel Sabbath. It doesn't say that. It's always mentioned as my holy day or the Sabbath of the Lord. Now let's go to another one if you're not convinced. Ezekiel 20 verse 12. It says here, moreover also I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am the Lord that sanctify them. So it says there, my Sabbaths, doesn't say the Jewish Sabbaths. And it's also a great detail there that I gave it to them. That means it is the Lord's, and he gave it for his people. Now it says here again further down in verse 20, and hallow my Sabbaths, and they shall be a sign between me and you, that ye may know that I am the Lord your God. So the Sabbath is a sign between God and his people, but it is God's day, and he gave it to us as a sign that he is our creator, and he is the one who made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and everything that is in them.
Let me now answer that question. I've answered previously, but I'll answer again. You guys want me to answer that question? When a Seventh-day Adventist tells you, why don't you keep the Sabbath day? It's part of the Ten Commandments. They'll say, you keep 9 out of the 10 commandments. Why don't you keep all of them? We do keep all of them. Let me answer the question. For Arthur, everyone else, here's the answer. You say, we do keep the Sabbath. We do keep the Sabbath. But we don't keep Israel's Sabbath. We keep God's Sabbath. What do you mean?
Now, we just went through this earlier. Israel's Sabbath is no such thing. It is the Sabbath of the Lord that He gave to Israel, His people. And also we, as spiritual Israel, the spiritual Jews who accepted Jesus Christ, we keep the same day. So it's not Israel's Sabbath. It is the Sabbath of the Lord. We just read through all the scriptures. You cannot find the verse Israel's Sabbath or the Jewish Sabbath in scriptures.
Get them to admit that the Sabbath days of Israel and the Sabbath year was modeled after God's Sabbath day. Israel's Sabbath, their Sabbath days and Sabbath years.
This is interesting.
After God's Sabbath. Where am I getting this from? Let's go now. Exodus 20, verses 8 to 11. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it sacred. Why? You are to labor and do all your work for 6 days. But the seventh day is a Sabbath to Jehovah your God. You must not do any work, neither you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your slave, man, nor your slave girl, nor your domestic animal, nor your foreign resident who is inside your settlement. For in 6 days Jehovah made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, and He began to rest on the seventh day. That is why Jehovah blessed the Sabbath day and made it sacred. So you catch it? Your Sabbath days, Israel, and Sabbath years are modeled after my Sabbath day. My Sabbath day, which is the seventh day when I rested from my work of creation and entered my Sabbath day. Another one, Exodus 31, 12 to 17. Jehovah said further to Moses, speak to the Israelites and tell them, especially you are to keep my Sabbaths, plural, not one, for it is a sign between me and you during your generations, right? In order that you may know that I, Jehovah, am sanctifying you. You must keep the Sabbath. You must keep the Sabbath, for it is something holy to you. Whoever profanes it must be put to death. If anyone does any work on it, then that person must be cut off from among his people. 6 days work may be done, but on the seventh day is a Sabbath of complete rest. It is something holy to Jehovah. Anyone doing work on the Sabbath day must be put to death. Now notice 16. The Israelites must keep the Sabbath. They must observe the Sabbath during all their generations. It is a lasting covenant. Now why? Because verse 17, guys, verse 17. It is an enduring sign between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Jehovah made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day He rested and refreshed Himself. Now, did everyone get it? Arthur, everyone? Yeah. Israel's Sabbath days and Sabbath years were modeled after God's Sabbath. So what is the true Sabbath day? God's Sabbath or Israel's Sabbath? What is the true?
Here he goes again with God's Sabbath and Israel's Sabbath. I don't think there's a difference, because the Bible clearly says that the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord. It's like, you know, if I celebrate my birthday on, let's say, April 3, for example, and I invite people, visitors, to come to my house on April 3 because I prepare some food, music, some celebration, festivities, fellowship, games, whatever. I tell them to come to my birthday, right? So let's say I have my other families prepare everything else, and let's say I'm upstairs, just, you know, chilling a little bit. Maybe I'm just relaxing because it's my birthday, you know? And then all the visitors come and they celebrate and be happy. And when they celebrate it with me, is that their day or is it my day? Would they come to eat my food and they sing the songs and they do karaoke or whatever? Is it their day or is it my day that they're celebrating? So they see there's a difference there, right? I invited them to celebrate with me, but it's still my day. It's not their day, right? Now, the tragic thing is, the Christian world, instead of being invited to the birthday, so-called, they arrive a day later You see, if it's my birthday is on April 3, and everyone who I invited did not come on April 3 but arrived the next day, what would that say to the people who I invited? Are they my friends? No. Would that ruin the celebration? Absolutely. And this is what happens when we forget the simple truths that God rested on the seventh day. It is His day. And He invites us to come to that day for a holy convocation. That means a holy gathering, a day of worship, corporate worship. And people miss out and arrive the next day on Sunday, which is totally not what God intended.
Original Sabbath day. God's Sabbath or Israel's Sabbaths? God's, right? God's.
I see no
Let's go to
difference.
Genesis 2, verses 1 to
Seventh
3.
day is the Sabbath of the Lord. And he's talking about something else here, a different kind of
Guys, get
Sabbath.
ready and pay attention. If you get this argument, you're going to refute the Seventh-day Adventists. They don't have a way to refute you. Okay. Genesis 2, verse 1 to 3. Thus the heavens and the earth and everything in them were completed. And by the seventh day, God had completed the work that He had been doing, and He began to rest on the seventh day, from all His work that He had been doing. From all His work that He had been doing. And God went on to bless the seventh day and to declare it sacred, for on it God has been resting from all the work that He has created, all that He purposed to make. Now, guys, pay attention. Did you notice that in Genesis 1, each of the days had a morning and an evening? There was morning and evening, day 1. There was morning and evening, day 2. But for the Sabbath day, the seventh day, the Sabbath day, there was a beginning, but no end. There was evening and morning, evening and morning for all the 6 days. But for the Sabbath day, seventh day, there was no evening and morning. God entered it, but it didn't end.
Okay, that's
In
interesting.
other words, according to the Bible,
this is really creative.
His Sabbath has been ongoing till this day and will continue to be ongoing until the end of the age.
Oh,
where
okay.
Jesus ushers in a new
Now
heaven and new earth.
This is reaching now. Okay, let's take a look. Right, let's take a look. So his point was that the other days, for example, the evening and the morning were the third day, for example, because that is there. That means, okay, the sun set and the sun rose, and that's the third day. So that's how they counted the days back in the day. Actually, that's how we should count the days. When the sun sets, that's the end of the day and a start of a new day. So when the sun sets on Friday, either at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever time that is where you are in the world, that's the start of Sabbath already. So here, because it doesn't mention anything about the evening and the morning, that means it didn't end. It didn't end, according to him. It also says in Genesis chapter 1 that God saw everything that He did and it was good. It was good. It didn't say there that it was good. So does that mean that it's not good? And everything else here, it says there, it was good. And there's also everything else He said it was good except for one day. There's one day that he said it wasn't good, which is when the day He divided the waters. And so it says here, and God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And He didn't say it was good. Does that mean that it wasn't good because it wasn't there? You know, this is the kind of reasoning that He's saying, because He didn't see the evening and morning. That means, oh, it didn't end. Wow. So let's go to Luke 4. What did Jesus do? I mean, Jesus is the creator, isn't He? He's the one who made the heavens and the earth, the sea and everything that is in them. You can read that in John chapter 1, that the beginning was the Word, and all things that were made by Him. So what did Jesus do while He was here on earth? Luke 4, verse 16. So, and He came to Nazareth where He had been brought up, and as His custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up to read. That means every Sabbath, he goes to the synagogue. And what else was Jesus doing when it's not the Sabbath day? Was he resting? Was he on his eternal rest? Or was he working for those who are sick, those who are needing his help, preaching the gospel, healing those who are, blind, those who are maimed, the lepers? Was he busy during the first 6 days? Yes, he was. He was working. Jesus was working. In fact, you can read in John 5:17. John 5:17. In John 5:17, Jesus says this, "But Jesus answered them, My Father worketh hitherto, and I work." That means his Father has been working throughout the ages in saving people. And during Jesus' ministry, he was working. In fact, they accused him of breaking the Sabbath because he healed somebody on the Sabbath day. And is it a sin though to heal on the Sabbath day? No, it's good to do good on the Sabbath day. So Jesus has been working. The Father has been working. He didn't say that because they stopped creation that they didn't work. Let's just clarify that.
Yeah.
I want to understand that God's Sabbath is today. God's Sabbath will be tomorrow. God's Sabbath will be the day after.
Now,
Every
this
day
is reaching.
God's Sabbath day.
Wow. So this is how you determine truth from error. According to Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. Let's go there. According to Isaiah 8:20, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. When did God say that every day is a Sabbath? He specifically said the seventh day is the Sabbath. So why would you just pick a day? Every day is a Sabbath? Just think about that for a second. Every day cannot be the Sabbath because you are told in the commandment itself in Exodus chapter 20. You are told which day is the Sabbath and which days are you to work. It says here, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And it says there, 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord. So God is very specific. There's only one day in the week, which is the Sabbath. And the other days you are to work, do all your work. In 6 days, do your labor. So God is specific. Included in the fourth commandment is a work-rest balance, as you may call it nowadays. God tell you to work 6 days, rest on the seventh. So he picked the day. There's only one day.
Because when he entered the Sabbath, it started and it's ongoing. When will it end? When Jesus comes and ushers in a new heaven and earth. That's when it ends.
This is heresy, brothers.
Everyone got it?
If you read the scriptures,
Okay.
you can tell.
So, how does that apply to you and me?